Welcome to another edition of the St. Peter's Newcomer Spotlight. We continue to highlight the newcomers on the baseball team, and joining us now from his home all the way in Wisconsin is freshman pitcher Alec Schmitz. Alec, great to see you today.
Great to see you too, James. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you come from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, in the southern part of the state. Admittedly, not too many people from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin make their way over to Jersey City. What was the process like in recruiting you out of high school?
You know, the process was kind of hectic at first. I had a lot of schools reaching out, and I just had to find the best fit, and St. Peter's ended up being that, not only with the location being so close to New York City, but I just loved Jersey City with, you know, the up-and-coming park by the river. And also another huge draw to St. Peter's was the academics. It had my major, and it also has a really good gateway to dental school, which I ultimately want to attend post-undergrad.
Now, it's been a mixed bag among your newcoming teammates this year as to whether or not they have seen St. Peter's, whether or not they were able to participate in practice. Were you able to visit campus?
I took my visit in January, just before kind of this craziness started to happen.
Life's all about timing. You couldn't have timed that any much better. Unfortunately, your senior year season, of course, was marred by the pandemic. How were you able to cope with that, and how were you able to get better without playing all that much organized baseball during the spring and summer?
So I kind of took it upon myself to really find different catchers to throw bullpens to at least once every week, if not twice, over the summer. And I would try to find different scrimmages that were going on, because I was a part of 3 different teams in the summer, but they all got canceled due to COVID. So I really had to take it upon myself to get better with orchestrating stuff between different teammates or people like that to help me get better. So
we've talked to some of your new teammates telling me that they've been lifting weights during the off season, trying all these new supplements. Were you able to get stronger, improve on maybe some velocity from your fastball?
Oh, of course. I'm a really big believer in plyo balls and bands. So I have my all band sets and everything like that, really working on shoulder care and taking care of the elbow, and just lifting weights, specifically pitcher-oriented workouts, a lot of upper body and legs and core.
Well, you're certainly an imposing looking figure on the mound, standing at 6'3", 185 pounds. What do you think is the strength of your game on the mound?
The strength of my game, as told from my coaching staff in high school, was I'm a bulldog. I don't back down from anybody. I want the ball in my hand in the most crucial moments, and I dominate. Just point blank, I dominate. Specifically with my curveball, it's just like get them over type of pitch that, you know, it's unhittable. That's all I gotta say.
The bold statement, and it sounds like you have a winning mentality. Did you see that mentality when you first met and spoke with Coach Lou?
Yeah, Coach Lou, you know, he was a great guy, you know, and it's all about first impressions to me. And he gave a really good one to me. And he just made it feel like a home and a family when I came here. And he just was really welcoming. And I could tell he wanted me, and I wanted him. And the ultimate goal is to win a MAC championship and, you know, hopefully go farther.
Well, Alec, you were fortunate as well to be a part of fall practice. How did you gel with your new teammates?
I love them, you know. It's just about the brotherhood and family aspect again. It really boils down to that. And the older guys were really welcoming towards me, and they're teaching me their ways and kind of how St. Peter's works and getting acclimated to the climate of D1 baseball. And, you know, I've been meshing with them really well. After practice, go hang out and do different things with them.
Well, speaking of getting acclimated to the climate, you come from a place in Wisconsin, a town of about 20-odd thousand people coming to Jersey City. You touched on it earlier. What is the acclimation, or what was the acclimation like?
You know, it was kind of crazy at first and overwhelming because it's fast-paced, extremely fast-paced. There's not really much time to kind of settle down, you know, because everything's moving at high speed. And coming from Sun Prairie, where there's a place where there's actually, like, you know, trees and stuff like that, and looking out the dorm room window and seeing, you know, concrete and apartments and stuff. It's a little different, and I had to get used to that. But I'm really getting acclimated to it because ultimately this is where I want to be when I get older and start my career is out here. So got to get used to it.
What should fans and your teammates and your coaches expect from you when we finally start playing games?
They should expect from me, like I said earlier, that I do not back down from anybody. I am a really coachable guy. I'm a coachable player. And I love to be critiqued, and I love to take criticism and use that to better my game. So they can expect from me that ultimately we're going to win.
I want to get to know a little bit more about you, Alec. You mentioned your major. It is biology. Admittedly, the worst subject that I had when I was in school. Why biology, and what do you want to do with it?
My dad went down this route when he was in college, and it really intrigued me because he wanted to go to dental school post-undergrad. And when he was talking about that to me, that's really intrigued me. And so I'm decided, I'm going to take this biology degree and get into dental school and ultimately become an oral surgeon or an orthodontist. I'm toying between those two on what I want to do with my career.
Were there any hobbies that you took up during the pandemic? Any new books you may have read, or any new things you tried in your free time?
I try to get into reading, but I just can't do it. I cannot. It is not my cup of tea. But I have been getting into kind of bettering my nutrition. That was a big thing because I knew gyms would be closed. And so I had to really take care of what I was putting into my body, because when my dad says to me, your body's a temple, and it's really important what you put into it. So I just really kept track of what I was eating and made a plan on, okay, so I ate this at this time, ate that at that time. So I just really kept track of that.
And finally, you live not too far from Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, St. Peter's is your school now, but assuming you grew up wearing Badger red?
Yes, you are correct. I love going to their games. Watching their basketball games, going to football games, it's a really good atmosphere there, but nothing really compares to St. Peter's with that family aspect. So,
well, hopefully we'll be jumping around here very soon. Alec,
yes.
Alec, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in Jersey City pretty soon.
Thank you, James.